Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. Now, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I put up my review of Justice League Odyssey 23, which is a little overdue. Uh, Honestly, that book just kind of sat there unread for a while. Not exactly, the kind of confidence, inspiringness that you want to have in your comic books if you're a major publisher. I mean, you want people to read the books like when they get them, but that book sat there till like for 2 weeks or something unread. Kind of a bummer. Considering how hype I was at the start of this, man, that Cedric art was just like, all yeah. And then they immediately swapped to a different artist, which kind of, oh man, where did this gouge come from? Look at that. I didn't notice that till I was doing this review and I saw it in the glare. Oh, it's a bummer. Now we open up to Wonder Woman 84 ad. I think they just pushed that movie back. Yeah, I think they just pushed it back to like December, so this ad is no longer accurate. But then we also open up to this page, Darkseid getting ready to, you know, rule the universe, because that's what Darkseid does. He looks pretty cool. She actually looks pretty cool. The blue chick. I don't remember what her name was. Saxophone or something like that. AKA the traitor, as we saw in the last issue. Although if you, haven't read that one, spoiler, I just spoilered that for you. Look, I can't guarantee I'm not going to spoil stuff from previous issues because it's kind of hard to talk about what's going on in this issue without spoiling at least a little bit of it, even though I try to avoid spoilers of the current issue. Dexstar looks totally cool. Gamma Knife just kind of looks derpy. It is what it is. We get 3 pages of this stuff, man. Darkseid surrounded by these little, like, time nuggets or whatever those are supposed to be. Revision points or something. Not entirely sure what it is. And basically, he's talking to everybody present to get them to follow him. Saxophone is like, "My lord, I have failed you." It's like, okay, whatever. Dexstar and the Gamma Knife are both kind of like, well, we would prefer not to die, which is a sensation and a feeling that we can all get behind. In fact, most of the stuff in this book with Darkseid and them in that room is basically that conversation spread over, I don't know, 14 pages of this book, 10 pages, 12 pages, something like that. Half of this book is that conversation of join me or die. Now, in normal old school comic writing, hey, look at this. I got old school comic writing right here. We're going to actually do a lot of comparisons with Crisis, and it's just very convenient that I never put the book away after I read it. It's just been sitting here on my desk, and it's been sitting here long enough that there's actually a dust over there, like at the edge of the book. So that's I need to clean my room, is what that's telling me. But in this book, you didn't just have like page after page of people talking. You had them talking while doing something. Now maybe Darkseid is doing something there because he's moving like little like slugs around, but it's not very dynamic looking. Meanwhile, you got our heroes, and they come up with a plan to do their own time revision shenanigans. Now they can't use the mechanism, obviously, but the idea is, well, what if instead of the mechanism, we use this time stream fragment thing? Who knows? And we use that to bring back the rest of the Justice League Odyssey. So, the people who originally showed up, meaning Jessica Cruz, Cyborg, Azrael. Am I really forgetting? I totally am. Wow. The Tamaranian, whose name I'm just totally blanking on. I can't believe I just blanked on her name. That is terrible. Let me. Blackfire's sister. Is it Starfire? Yeah, her. Her. Alright, and so what if we just bring them back? Now, I obviously spoiled it and they succeed, but that's only the halfway point of the book, so it's not that big of a spoiler. So that's cool and all, but the thing is, all that stuff that happened, all this conversation, is just a couple pages worth of stuff. Like, I'm gonna find an example. Yeah, let's use Crisis as an example. So we summon a bunch of heroes to a secret meeting. There's also a bunch of villains. They immediately, while they're talking, get attacked. Something happened, like, instantly. We didn't mess around. We didn't wait around. We didn't just have page after page of talking. We had them doing stuff while they're talking, while they're working out their differences, while they're trying to decide to be a team. Here, it was just talking. Jessica Cruz talking to people. This is my leadership. You got people coming back, talking to people. You know, it doesn't really do anything. And the entire book was that way. Nothing real actually happened in this book. There's like two things that happen. One is like on the last page of the book, and one is in the middle, which I showed you a little bit of. And that's it. That's all that happens. The rest is just them talking about getting ready for those things that happen. And while it's fine to have a section of the book where you just stand around and plan, like, I don't know, let's grab a random page from Crisis where they're standing around planning. I'm trying to find the stuff like right at the very end where the heroes are getting ready to go to the other world, and it's just not working. I can't even find it. That's how little time is spent just planning and talking in this. And these two stories are basically doing very similar kinds of things. Here you've got a villain trying to wipe out all the universes. Here you have a villain trying to wipe out all the time, so that his time is the only time that reigns. Very similar plot from that perspective. Now there's a lot of, meandering details, but at this point, we've got people getting yanked from other places in time. Guess what happens at the start of Crisis? You got a guy yanking people from other places in time to go save the universe. It's not that different in conception. I'm not even going to talk about this cover. I like the kind of way the cover looks, the way it's being styled, because it's kind of like, hey, what if, I guess I am going to talk about the cover. What if we kind of made something that looks like one of those 80s or 90s cheesy movie posters, and we made that our cover? I dig it. I absolutely do. But the cover doesn't really reflect what's in the book. And it's not even really focusing on their faces, is it? Anyway, they're all just kind of making the same face, and it's even Cyborg's kind of making the same face. That part of it was kind of like, but I really like the composition, because this totally looks like an 80s movie poster right here. We've got a group of people, we've got a looming head in the distance, and maybe we have something else cool to look at. So I like that construction. And whoever's writing the trade dress, just does not understand. I don't think they read the book before they write the trade dress. They just write something based on what the cover art looks like, because the appropriate trade or statement for this should have been have Darkseid standing there or something, and then you could have done something like, time is not on their side, because ultimately that's what this book is all about, is how they're running out of time, literally running out of time, because Darkseid is actively rewriting time as the book goes on. That would have been a way more poignant, way more coherent way to lure people in. Time is not on their side. Time is running out for the Justice League. That would also be a pretty good phrase to throw on the cover, and it would actually fit the book. You all take care of yourselves. I can't really recommend you get into this. I hear it's supposed to be getting canceled anyway, so probably won't be around that much longer. They got to be getting to the end of this plot, too. There's only so much more that you can drag this out before you have to resolve something and get people a conclusion that they're satisfied with. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I sure hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye-bye.